Hello, this is McAfee, and I'm here to tell you about some legislation that just passed recently, and it is groundbreaking legislation for Mississippi. It is called the Mississippi Entertainment Workforce Development Task Force, or Senate Bill 2424 in this year 2025. What is it exactly? Well, Mississippi is the birthplace of America's music. So blues turned into gospel, turned into jazz, turned into country music, turned into rock and roll, turned into R&B. Well, it all originated from Mississippi. But Mississippi has not actually been able to capitalize off of this, as many of the blues musicians went to Memphis, B.B. King and Elvis Presley and many others. They grew Memphis into what you see now. As a matter of fact, FedEx, B.B. King's, and Elvis Presley are arguably cornerstones of what makes Memphis, Tennessee what it is. Even Atlanta Braves, CNN, Comcast, Delta Airline, Coca-Cola, all of those things are either started by Mississippians, started in Mississippi like Comcast, or were financed by Mississippians. Like Coca-Cola was first bottled by the Beatenhorns from Vicksburg. Delta Airlines was started in Louisiana, but it was financed by Mississippians. So why am I saying all these things? Because many other states have made a lot of money from Mississippians who have gone to those states to secure their careers and dreams. Nashville has taken country music and done very well. Atlanta has taken R&B and hip hop and done very well. Tennessee has taken blues and R&B and done very well, and Motown all the way in Michigan and California. A lot of these things are structured by Mississippians. That is why the Grammy Museum is in Mississippi, because we have more Grammy Award-winning artists and producers per capita than any other place in the United States. It is the only other authorized official Grammy facility in the United States, or at least it was 5 years ago. So what does all this mean? It means that it is a new day in Mississippi, wherein I seek to get the government to incentivize its creative class, its citizens who have specialized gifts in entertainment. So McAfee, tell me a little bit about how this would work. Well, we intend to modify or amend workforce development, which is commonly known to include workforce development in healthcare field, allied health, nurses, phlebotomists, auto mechanics, truck drivers, electricians and plumbers, those type of things. Well, why can we not amend that in the birthplace of America's music to include entertainment related workforce development? So that's what we're doing. So last year we passed something called the Mississippi Musicians Month, which makes March an entire month where we can do talent shows statewide through middle schools and high school across the state. We'll use championship sports models that have been working for years. State championships in football, state championships in baseball, state champions in basketball. We take those students who've won the talent shows across the state, bring them down to a central location, let's just say Jackson, and then we dump them into the community college system, where we expand workforce development and teach them law and business in addition to polishing their original skills. This will allow for those students to be incentivized, so we will have a better chance of making the next Elvis Presley or the next Sam Cooke, because we've been talking about them and they've been dead for 50 years. So this is a new day in Mississippi. Atlanta, Georgia became what it is today in 1996 when they won the bid to host the Olympics. It was such a influx of capital that came in because of the infrastructure that was necessary to house the Olympics, that the mayor at the time took that infrastructure, capital investment, and did an international jazz festival. It was a multi-day festival which allowed people to come in and stay in hotels, eat in restaurants, and more importantly, get a chance to see the capital infrastructural expansion and investment that had been made because of the Olympics. They liked it. Some of them decided to move there. They then expanded that, brought in Babyface, the popular producer, to produce a bunch of top 10 number one hits that people loved, and all road led to where the hits were located or produced, and that was Atlanta. 40 years later, it has compounded. Atlanta's economy has compounded to one of the fastest growing economies in the country. So much so that people from New York and California, entertainers like Tyler Perry, has built infrastructure that has made Atlanta an entertainment mecca. Well, Mississippi has just secured $36 billion of capital investment because of data centers, Amazon and Compass, Meridian, and Madison, Mississippi. So I see this as something that's very similar to Atlanta in 1996. So I think it is time now for all visionaries in Mississippi to join together to use their skills and gifts and talents to transform Mississippi, the birthplace of America's music, into the entertainment mecca that we know that it should be. We host people from all around the world who come to Mississippi for Robert Johnson, for Muddy Waters, for the home of Elvis Presley, for a myriad of things. But we don't capitalize off of it. So now's the time to do that. I think the time is now. Mississippi, stand up. Let's just call this the gospel of Mississippi.